Kyle, what's up? If I curse, don't tell your dad. It's really hard for me not to curse. I curse a lot. So you're going to tell him anyway because you're a good kid, but don't tell him. I'm going to walk you through. You already, I think, know how to do this, but I'm going to walk you through some finer details that your dad would not have known to show you. That's especially true in CapCut. I want to save you a little bit of time by showing you something that will frustrate you if you don't know it going into it. So let's start with Discord. Sorry, this is my audio editing program. This is my podcast nonsense. Let me get rid of that. Should have prepared better for this. Lots of things opened on this desktop. Okay, here we go. I'm going to reopen this, and we're going to go to Discord. We're going to open up Discord, and I'm going to head over to my Midjourney with Friends server, and I'm going to show you how unless you're comfortable, unless you already feel like you've really got a good sense for this, I'm going to tell you what I use, where I stop, because you could spend more time on, if you're not careful, you'll spend too much time on this. So this is what I usually do. I will say /imagine, and then I'm going to pick something that makes sense for the first couple sentences of the audio. So in one of this week's episodes, I talk about whether or not the Stoics would have thought that puppies were good. And so maybe I'll say prompt puppies, and then I'll hit a comma. So it's going to put puppies in the picture no matter what, because it's the first thing. So everything that follows puppies in the first comma is going to be separated by commas and are going to be additional qualities of that image. So I would say puppies, hyper-realism, which is actually one word, I think. Hyper-realism, photorealistic. These are qualities I want the image to have. I want it to be colorful. I'm going to say Frank Miller style. Your father will tell you who Frank Miller is, but he's a comic book illustrator, and he has a look that I kind of like. And so I usually put Frank Miller style. You don't have to, but this is something that I do. And then I might say detailed details, because I want it to be detailed and I want details to be featured in whatever it is that this AI spits out. And then I'm going to put in a couple of commands. I might have to work kind of hard to remember what some of these commands are, but usually I go to Q 2.5 -- S space 3500. So that's -- Q space 2.5 -- S space 3500. To give you an idea of what these are, Q stands for quality. It runs from 0 to 5. If you put it on 5, it'll take too long to render, and you'll be pissed that it's taking too much time because you've got other things to do. And S stands for stylize, which is, as far as I understand it, it's kind of like giving the AI a little bit of creative license to do a little bit more in a little bit of a different way than you asked it to. So it's like giving it creative license, I guess. That's how I understand it anyway. And then -- where's that other dash? There we go. -- AR, and then -- AR space. And in the case of your videos, these are going to be 9:16 because I want them in. That's the aspect ratio for vertical videos. And then I'm just going to hit enter. Now this is going to run. It usually takes about a minute for the first 4 to show up. We can see that we've got 4 images here. Now, if I scroll up, there's actually a command that I can't remember that will do things a little bit faster. Let me see if I can't. I got to go way back. I think I got to go pretty far back, actually. That's not it. That's not it. Maybe this is it. Nope. Those are not it. I think it's this. Creative test. I want you to make as much money as possible doing this with as little work as possible. So I want to save you time. I'm probably one of the only people who will ever pay you who will tell you that they want to pay you the same amount of money for doing less work. But that's what I want. So I'm going to show you something here that will save you some time. You're going to have to invest the time to watch this video because I'm going to give you context, but I'm going to show you something that will save you time. So here are our 4 puppies halfway done. Again, it takes about a minute. Although I have Q 2.5 for quality, so the default quality is 0, so base quality. I've doubled that. I mean, you can't double 0, but I think you get what I mean. So it's multiplied the amount of render time by, I guess, 2.5. So this one is maybe taking 1:30. I don't know. You're the one watching the video. You'll know. And I guess I could window. I'm talking to myself here for a second. Sorry. Are you telling me that? And then I'll just do this. There we go. It's kind of weird that you can't see me while I'm talking to you, so I'm going to put myself down here. So it's almost done. And we're finished. Okay, so what I would normally do is I'd open this up and I'd say, okay, none of these look great. Like this one's all fucked up. It's got, sorry, I said the F word. All right, well, yeah, all right. Now I'm just going to curse because you've heard it once, now you know it. These are messed up, right? We've got 2 noses. This one looks okay. This one's not so messed up, and this one isn't so messed up either. And in fact, this is the only one where it kind of looks okay. Yeah, we've got a nose on a toy here or something, but we do have 2 puppies, and that's probably the best of the 4. Now, you might think, Tanner, that looks really stupid. First of all, I don't care if it looks stupid. I just care that there's a picture. But you're right, it does look stupid. So we're going to select U1 because it's the one that's most like what I want, what I think I want anyway. And upscaling it will make it larger and add slightly more detail. The thing that I'm going to show you at the end of this is something that will require you not to take all these additional steps, which is going to cut your time in a third, I think, for producing these images. Because quite frankly, the images are the thing I don't want to do. Because I'll get too finicky about it and it'll take a bunch of time. And I hate spending time on things that I'm not good at. And I'm not particularly good at this. Okay, so now it upscales. The upscale is always a lot faster than the original render. You can see this is probably going to take less than a minute. Just going to close some of these tabs. There we go. Almost done. Almost done. What's this say? Oh. Okay, so 100% done. 2 more seconds. It'll probably give me the final image. And now from here, you'll see that it's, it's a little more detailed, but it's pretty much the same image, right? We still have this weird nose on a nothing here. Well, then I would click remaster. I'm not entirely clear what remaster does. I think what it does is it says, hey, this picture is kind of like what I want, but it looks real stupid. So could you make it prettier and more realistic than this nonsense? And as you'll see, the product that comes out after hitting remaster will look far, far different than this. But it will still look like this, if that makes sense. You'll see in a minute. Sometimes when it's counting percentages, it's not going to actually reflect the percentages, so you'll think it's stuck, but it's not. Right now it is doing something. The remaster usually takes about 30 seconds. So even though it says 0%, it's probably still processing. In this case, it wasn't processing, and now it is, but whatever. I'm just letting you know. Now look at this. All of a sudden, we don't have some stupid ball dog here and we have something that really looks more like puppies. Now, it might not still be perfect, but it looks. We don't have a nose on a ball. We have a nose on a dog, which is way better. That's what we want. But it took. I don't know how long it's taken me to do this so far. Like, what is the video count at? Can I even know that? How long have I been recording? It's been 10 minutes. I realized I was talking a little bit before that, but that's too much time. I can't be spending 10 minutes on every effing picture, because if you spend 10 minutes on every effing picture and you're doing 5 pictures per video, you're going to spend 50 minutes. Now, that still means you're making $20-something an hour, which is good, but it would be better if you were making $40 an hour, if we could cut this time in half. So the next step you'd have to do would say U1, and you would upsample this better image, which looks way better. If I open this in its own tab, this is how big it is. Let's see how big it is once I upsample it. And in the end, this is probably 8 or 10 minutes, right? This is too long. I don't want you to spend this long on this, because you're going to be like, this is lame, this is boring, I don't like this, because that's how I feel. And I'm ADHD. Maybe, I don't know if you're ADHD, but I am. It drives me fucking crazy to, your dad's going to kill me. It drives me crazy to spend this much time on anything. I'm irritated making this video. Same with the upscaling. Sometimes it won't count and it is actually doing something, or sometimes it's just waiting for its turn in the server queue to actually see. In this case, it was done, even though it wasn't telling me it was done. Now, what's the difference? You'd say there's no difference. Well, there's a little bit more detail, but more importantly, if I click on it now, look how much bigger it is. So this is a DPI, I guess I would say. This is a size detail thing. This image is fine, but this image is larger and so can be made bigger, can be put into a 4K video, and it won't be grainy or distorted. So we always want to get that larger image. Okay, now that took 10 minutes, and you got to do that 4 more times. It's 50 minutes. It's ridiculous. It's too much time. So how can we speed that up? Well, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to scroll down here, and I'm going to copy the. First, I'm going to learn how to use my effing computer. I'm going to copy this, which is my original query, right? I said imagine puppies, hyperrealism, photorealistic, colorful, Frank Miller style, detailed details. And I'm still going to do AR 916 because I have to tell it that, but I'm going to say test test creative. And I'll watch what's going to happen. I'm not going to get a 4-up, which is going to limit my choices, right? I'm not going to get this. Instead, and let's start the timer right now, right? I just punched that in. And how long have I been doing this? I just started that like 18 seconds ago. This is 20 seconds ago. So I started that at whatever time 20 seconds ago was. Can you tell I'm ADHD, Kyle? Again, it might not be counting, but it could still be working, or it's waiting for its turn in the queue. Gosh, dogs are just the greatest until they're barking while you're recording a training video, and then they're not so great. I'm only getting one image, right? This is just one image. And in this case, I mean, it's fine. I don't care. It's a double-headed dog, but I don't really care about that because I'm not an artist, Kyle. And the purpose of these videos are not to be, it's probably actually better that we have a two-headed dog here. It's not that the pictures need to be like perfect renditions of whatever the hell it is that they're supposed to represent. They can be like this. They do not have to be perfect. So what do we do here in like 2 minutes? By the time this timer's up, or by the time this percentage count is done, we'll probably have spent 2 minutes creating an image, which is still not the right size we want it to be. It's that we'll still have to upscale it, but we have cut out needing to upsample and needing to remaster. So we've turned, and they need to upsample again. So we've taken a 3-step or a 4-step process, and we've turned it into a 2-step process. So if this is so funny that he's got 2 heads, that's great. But they're still cute puppies, which is really the point. So if something was taking you 10 minutes now, it's taking you 5 minutes. So instead of making $20 an hour, you're making $40 an hour. So always use these 3 commands at the end of the query: --AR916 --test --creative. And then the only thing you have left to do is hit the upscale button, and you only have to do it once. So now instead of 10 minutes, we're spending 5 minutes, and you have doubled your hourly rate functionally. You're spending less time. I'm paying you the same money. You're making more money. So I'm going to go ahead and save this image, and I'm going to hope something goofy happens that sometimes happens. I'm going to put this here. I'm going to call it 1 puppies. And it's doing this weird thing where it opens after I save things. That's new. I don't know why it's doing that. So this is probably upsampling, even though it's not counting. Boopity boop boop ba-doop boop boo. Okay, so it's done. The screen's gonna snap one more time. And any second now. Okay, now we're done. And now if we click on this, this image is way bigger. Okay, so that's what we want. We want this way bigger image. So I'm going to right-click it, and I'm going to save that. I'm going to call this 2 puppies. And I really cannot figure out what in the heck is making this open files now when I save them. I really don't like that. It's going to do it again. Why the hell it's doing that? Okay, but that doesn't matter. That's my problem, not yours. So now I'm going to come to my desktop, and I'm going to hopefully look for these 2 puppies. There they are. Puppies 1 and Puppies 2. Okay, so that's all you need to know about Discord and Midjourney and blah, 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 blah. Now we're going to open up CapCut, and I'm just going to, I guess I'm going to start a new project, and I don't care about this project, but okay. And I'm just going to open up the folder that contains those images, which in my case is my very cluttered desktop that I should do something about. And I'm going to drag and drop those 2 puppies into here. And then I'm going to go and I'm going to find my audio. Boop. Where is it? I know I did a thing where I put it here. Where did I put it? Date modified yesterday. Hold on. Gosh dang it. Maybe it's in songs. Was it today? What day is today? The 9th? 12, blah, 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 Thursday. Date modified. Today must be here. Mix down. Yeah, it's all these. Okay, so I'm just gonna drag and drop my MP3 file in here. And okay, cool. Now I have all the things I need. You'll have more pictures, but this is enough to show you what I want you to watch out for here. In Stoicism, virtue is the only Christ. Okay, so you're gonna drag that. I don't know if you heard that, but it went off in my ear. I didn't mean for that to happen. Okay, so I've got my audio. I've got my puppy number 1, and I got my puppy number 2. Now I'm gonna shorten this a little bit. I'm gonna shorten this a little bit by dragging from here, because it doesn't really matter. Actually, you know what? Let's leave the whole thing. The first thing you want to do, number 1 thing you want to do, is you want to put the transitions in between the pictures. I don't care what transition you use. I'm not a fan of like these basic. I almost said basic bitch, and now I've just said it, but these basic transitions, I don't really like them. I like more, that is, you know what? I don't care. Just don't use any transitions that you think are stupid. If you think they're stupid, you're young, you're cooler than I am, so you probably know what's cool and what isn't. I don't. But some of the ones I really like is I kind of like this little rip tear thing. So I'm going to click the plus, or I'm going to click and drag it down here. And if I hover it over in between these 2 clips, it's going to put the transition there such that if I scroll this playhead, I should see when I hit play. Good, but what about puppies? We'll try that again. The only good, but what about... Okay, so that's the first thing you do. The second thing you do is I don't like how quick those transitions default. I always want a transition to be 2 seconds long. So with the transition selected, which you can see here, you're going to come up here and you're going to go... Remember, you select the transition right there. And then over here, you'll have transition parameters. Just drag this up to 2 seconds. Doop, just like that. If it's 2.1, no big deal, but I like to keep it at 2 seconds. Okay, now the reason you do that first is because it changes, if you had effects applied to each individual image, this would have just changed that such that the runtime of the effect across the image would have been off. The effect would not have been given the appropriate time to be able to finish, so it would have looked weird. So now that we've done this, the next thing we want to do is vaguely find out where in the audio we want to make this transition happen, because we need to kind of expand our image runtimes here, because this is telling us how long the image is going to be present. I like it right about here. And now if I play the transition, Stoicism, broadly speaking, things external to our own. I like that better. So now the next thing I want to do is I want to select each one of these clips one at a time, and I want to go to animation, and I want to go to combo, because I want to do an in. I don't want to do an in. I don't want to do an out. I want to do an in and out. So I'm going to go to combo, and I'm going to select from these. I do not like any, and I don't want you to use any animations which invite a black background. So I'll show you what I mean by that. This one right here, you can see it animating as I hover my mouse over it. If I click in Stoicism, virtue is the only good. Do you see how it's allowing people to see the canvas, this kind of big black area here? I don't really want them to be able to see that. I think that looks stupid. That looks like something your grandmother makes for a wedding video, right? It doesn't fit, and I don't like it. So if it invites the black canvas into the frame at all, I do not want you to use it, which I think starts, you can see where it happens. So just don't pick ones that do that. So I'm going to pick one I like that doesn't invite a black background, like, for example, maybe let's say this one. In Stoicism, virtue is the only good. Now I can hear you asking, the only good? But what about puppies? Certainly the Stoics... Okay, so that's good. And then if we let the transition go... In Stoicism, broadly speaking, things external to our own... Now we want to apply a transition to this one. I don't want the animation to this image. I don't want you to use the same animations twice in a row, and if you can avoid it, don't use the same animations twice in a video, okay? And that goes for transitions as well. If you see the same transition or the same animation too frequently in one video, I think they can pick up on it, at least I can, and maybe that's just my ADHD brain, but I would prefer that each one be different. So here I'll say... pan right is the one I'll use for this one. Speaking, things external to our own thoughts, emotions, attitudes, and actions are called... Now, because it's an in-out combo, when I get to the end, it's going to start animating away. Viewing externals through the lens of their impact on our virtue is one of the most fundamental principles of Stoicism. See? Okay, so I like this. This is only 2 pictures. You'd have more pictures than this, but you get the idea. So now that we're here, we have something that we could have done at the outset, but you can also do it now. You see where it says original right here? Original, set it to 9:16 because it was in the wrong aspect ratio. And then select each frame like this. You can see that if I select this one, that white border goes away. But if I select this one, because my playhead is over this one right now, I can see this adjustable box. And I just want to drag it so that it fits, and in fact over fits a bit like this. Because even though this image is in a 9:16 aspect ratio, that doesn't mean it's necessarily going to fit exactly within this particular particularly size 9:16 box. I don't really understand why that's the case, but aspect ratios are weird, I guess. So I just want you to resize the image so that its borders, top and bottom, go a little bit beyond the borders of the canvas here. So then I'll drag over to this one, and I'll click this one, and I'll do the same here. Just like that, just over just a little bit. And then I want to go to, and then you're done. That's it. Now you go to export. Make sure that you will see something down here maybe that says remove watermark. Make sure the watermark is removed. It doesn't cost any money to have CapCut or to remove the watermark. It's just you have to register and have like a registered account. Then they'll remove the watermark, which is pretty nice. So then I would prefer you to title the videos just the day of the week. So say Monday, the 12th month, the 12th day, and the year. Just like that. Save it wherever you want to save it. I'll put it on the desktop so I can find it. Just like that. In 4K, please. Codec H.264, bitrate recommended, format MOV, frame rate 60 frames per second. The only ones you should probably have to change here from defaults are the resolution and the frame rate. No need to add a cover. I can do that when I upload to TikTok and then just export. And this is a very short video, but I would imagine that this is exporting the full, this is not a very short video. This is a typically long video, which is 43 seconds. All the videos you get from me are going to be between 30 seconds to maybe a minute 30. I think I'll probably average around 55 seconds. So you'll just export it, and then when it's exported, you'll go on to do the next one. And then at the end of the week, you'll just put them all in a zip file, deliver them to me however your dad tells you to, because it sounds like he probably has a system for doing that. And that's it. I don't want you to do captions. I don't want you to put you don't have to do anything else, just this. My estimation for you is that when you first start doing this, you might struggle because when you first do anything, you're not going to be as fast when you first do it as you are on your 100th time doing it. But you're a smart kid, and I think that pretty quickly you're going to be able to be very fast at this. So my hope for you is that this only takes you 2 to 3 hours a week, and $100 is a lot of money for 2 or 3 hours a week. For no offense, but for a 14-year-old kid, that's a lot of money. So I hope that that's how efficient you get. If you have any struggles or you have any questions, your dad will give you my cell phone number. Just text me questions. I'm way better at responding to text. If you email me, I will not answer you. Not because I don't want to, but because I have ADHD and I won't see your email. There's a chance I won't see your text either, but there's a better chance I'll see your text. So once this video is, once it's exported, what I would ask you to do before you send it, I'm going to close all this, quit. What I would ask you to do is, where the heck is that video? I've got this stacking effect that happens. Movies, there we go. What I would ask you to do is I would ask you to preview that video on your computer and make sure that it's working, that it looks right, and that the audio can actually be heard. In Stoicism, virtue is the only, and if it's there, then super duper, and just send it to me. You can, highlight them all and then right click and compress them and send them in a zip file. You can send them one at a time. I don't really care. That can be up to you and your dad. And that's it, man. That is it. I want to put the camera back up here for just a second because I want to tell you that I really appreciate this. I know that you probably also really appreciate getting $100 an hour for a couple hours of work, but this is really important to what I'm doing. And well, I appreciate that you were willing to do the work. It's cool. And hopefully, if you like the work, like I said to you yesterday, hopefully if you like the work, this can turn into, maybe you graduate high school and you're still working with me, and you got a job right out of high school, or you go to college and you've got a job while you're there, and you become more and more proficient at video. Or maybe you just, do it for a few months and decide you don't like it. Either way, I don't have any expectations, but I want you to know if you want to stick with doing it, the plan is eventually to be doing more video work, and that means I will need more help, which means you can make more money and this could become an actual job. Now, I realize you're 14, which I think means you're in 8th or 9th grade. So, that's not going to happen tomorrow, but I'm willing for it to happen, and I really appreciate you doing the work, really. Never be afraid to email me, text me, reach out to me, call me if you think that's appropriate, or have your dad reach out to me if you're shy and you'd rather have him do the talking. That's fine as well. But I am always happy to hear from you and answer any questions you might have. I do want to reinforce that the images, do not overthink them. Really don't overthink them. If they suck at first, it's really not a big deal. It's the quality of the images are not important to me. It's just that it's done. It looks kind of cool. It looks kind of relevant to the audio that's being heard, and that is legit all I care about. And that is the right aspect ratio. So don't beat yourself up on anything. Don't try to overperform. Take it easy. This is an easy job. And let me know if you have any questions. Okay, bye.